Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Fred the Puppet Show. I'm Fred the Puppet. Today we have a special guest on our show today. He goes by the name of Randy Jones. Now, this guy is an actor, director, he's a writer. This guy is amazing. I mean, he does a lot of things. He's almost like what you would call the next Spike Lee or Tyler Perry or something like that, or even what he like to call himself, like another version, the black version of Steven Spielberg. I think that's going a little bit too far, but anyhow, we're gonna talk today to him about his films and him being an actor. Just get all into it, okay? So I want you to sit back, relax, get the popcorn, get the soda, get whatever, the juice, the drink, the water, and relax and enjoy this interview. Okay, Randy, tell us, how did you ever get your start in the entertainment business, period? How did you start all this, acting that you're doing? Well, first I want to say, Fred, thank you for inviting me on your show. It's been a minute. It's been actually my first time on your show. I started acting, I started in the whole entertainment business way back in the year of 1983. Yes, I remember. 1983. I actually started as a songwriter. I tried to, sing back then, and unfortunately that wasn't going good for me. So that's when I really started everything. Wow. You mean you started back in 1983? My goodness, I wasn't even a puppet. I was just, I guess, the pup before the pet. Wow. So what made you go from songwriting, wanted to be a singer, to now making your own movies and films? And you're pretty good at it, I would say, for independent. I know you do independent stuff. We spoke earlier in the green room. So what made you want to do the transition? Well, actually, what made me transition is that I was doing, like I said, I started doing music. I started as a songwriter. Then I tried to sing, and that wasn't good. Then I tried to get into hip hop and rap, and that didn't go so well. So what I would do is make local videos in my neighborhood where I grew up in the housing projects called Sumner. It's a small housing project, not too big, not too small, almost like about maybe close to 25, 30,000 people, if you want to say. And I saw myself on TV. I was like, okay, I can act, not like actual TV. Back then we had VHS tapes, and when I videotaped it and got it edited, I put it down on VHS, and I said, I can act. So I started doing auditions and stuff like that, going on different auditions for like TV shows, commercials, and a lot of people wasn't calling me back. So I took it personal that nobody didn't want to be bothered with me. So what I did, an idea came to my mind. I came up with the idea came to my mind. I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to write, produce, and star my own stuff. And I'm going to get people like myself who's trying to make it, okay, an opportunity to work alongside with me. And that's my clientele, that's my, how can you say, reputation will begin to build. Then I'll be able to get the popular people I grew up with watching. So that's how I pretty much made the transition. Okay, wow. So you mean to tell me that after doing auditions and for commercials and TV shows, you pretty much came up with the idea that you want to do your own? Pretty much what you're saying, the business kind of frustrates you, so you decide, hey, I'm going to work and do my own thing. So in other words, what you're saying is that if you wouldn't have never got rejected, for lack of a better word, perhaps you wouldn't have never even got into the acting business. Is that correct? So, I would say, yeah. In one sense, you could say yes. I mean, I didn't just do it because I felt rejected. I mean, that's, that ain't really the reason why I did it. It was more like a God-given talent. Not even like it's actually a God-given talent. Okay, to me that I never thought or imagined to myself that I could do something like this. I was always coming up thinking that I wasn't good enough and I can't do this. And back then when I first started in the business, we didn't have too many African American black filmmakers. I mean, we had people like Spike Lee who really started the game as far as writing, producing, directing, and doing our own stuff. That's really was really my major inspiration with Spike Lee. Then of course, the late John Singleton came along, and then Tyler Perry came, and the list goes on. Now you got Ryan Coogler, I believe, from Black Panther, and who did Creed 3, and other black film directors, Bill Duke and all of them. So all these was my inspiration. So now it's like, okay, let me start writing my own thing. Let me start doing my own stuff. You see, I never went to school for any of this stuff. This is just a God-given talent that was given to me. I mean, I did research, and I went to libraries. I took like a class in like studioography, I guess what you say, or studio work, for local television. But I didn't start there with that. I just started making music videos in my neighborhood, and that built up I would say, my interests in wanting to do movies and wanting to do films. And I started writing, like I said, after I did audition. So, I wouldn't put it together as saying rejection. That was a part of it, I felt rejected. But if you want to like look at it for lack of a better word, in one sense, yeah. But it wasn't like the whole main reason why that I started doing film and acting. Okay, well, tell us, what do you like doing the best? Do you like acting? Do you like writing? Or do you like directing? Okay, and tell us one of your latest projects you worked on or is working on. Because I know we talked earlier in the green room. We usually when I have guests on, I always have, talk to them in the green room. That's just what a lot of hosts do. And, we just want to find out, what you want us to tell us, what you want us to act, all the good stuff. So just elaborate a little bit more on that. If I had to choose one that I like the most, I would have to say acting. The reason why is because, I've always been a character since I was a kid coming up. People, if you ask my family members and people I grew up with, they would say, yeah, Rand was crazy. They call me Rand for short, so, Rand was always a clown, as a comedian, and I have to say acting. I love doing all of them together. Okay, because I'm a very idealist person. I'm an idealist. I just, I just get these ideas that just come to my mind. I just run with it. Okay, because if I don't do it, somebody else will. So I would say acting. I like acting more than anything. Acting because I love to express myself in front of cameras, especially if I can get an opportunity in trying to make somebody laugh to brighten up their day. Also, I want to say that I've been working on a number of projects, and one of my main projects right now that I'm working on is a feature film called The Unstoppables. It's actually a superhero movie. It's like you would say, for lack of a better word, yeah, excuse me, and I'm in the studio in my house, and it's kind of hot here, so let me just, excuse me. Yeah, it's like a superhero movie. It's not even like, it's actually a superhero movie from a comic book. Okay, original comic book. And I have a cast of newcomers. They're not new to the business, but they pretty much, the way that the public would view them to be new. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm trying to follow and copy off of Marvel and DC and these other comic book movies. No, they are my inspiration greatly. Okay, but this is pretty much something that's, you can say, original. Okay, sci-fi, special effects, and everything. I'm not going to go too much into detail because I don't want to give everything away about the film. Okay, but that's one of the main features I'm working on. I just finished up a short film right now by the name of The Rescue Mission, okay? Where I play a good guy, something like a superhero. And I'm actually coming to save a young lady from this crazy maniac that I work with. And by the name of, Dale Smith. And he's a, good friend of mine. I've been working together for a couple of projects in a number of years I've been knowing. And a new actress that I pretty much recruited by the name of Miss Corinne. She's actually my first French black actress that I had, as far as working with in that way. Okay, I mean, I worked with a French recording artist years ago on a music video, but not as far as acting. And we had a pretty good day on that set. It was a short film, we shot it in a few hours, 1 day shoot. And we had a lot of fun. So I was able to put it together and publish it, and we're still promoting it and looking to get into film festivals and putting it out there, and so far getting a lot of good responses. Wow, okay. So you seem to be like a guy that's really busy all the time. Well, I want to ask you a question. How do you get your talent? I mean, how do you get your talent? What do you look for in acting? How do what is the qualifications to you for someone to actually pass an audition to be considered for a role to work with Randy Jones in a Randy Jones project? Well, there's many ways that I usually look for talent. I have worked and did background a lot. I did a lot of background. That's extras, working in film and television and movies and stuff like that. And what we normally would do, well, things kind of stopped now because of the virus, coronavirus, but what we normally would do when we did as background talent is that before we get ready to start filming and shooting, and then after we shoot, when they setting up the equipment for the next scenes, we would be in this area called a holding area. That's where they hold all the talent. You had your union and you had your non-union, your SAG and non-SAG. I never understood why SAG people never want to sit with non-SAG people. I mean, we both breathe the same air, but that's another story. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not into the segregation. But to answer your question, that's one way I found my talent. I talk and I network with people, because it's all about networking nowadays. Okay, I network with people. Okay, and as I network with people, and they network with me, I will talk to them and say, hey, listen, I'm doing my own thing on the side, producing, directing. I'd like to audition you for a role for something I think you're fit for. So we exchange business cards and email address and numbers and everything, get back to work. We talking during the, time while we're filming and stuff. And then I will say, listen, at the end of the day, I will call you and, text you or email you, and we'll set up a meeting and do an audition. I had to do like a, on the budget audition, because I didn't really have the money to rent big major studios out. So I had to do like an audition in Starbucks or something like that, or if it's a nice sunny day outside, if it's like 85, 90 degrees, beautiful sun. And basically, when I see talent for something I'm looking for, I'm usually right. And I say, hey, you got the part. And that word of mouth will go to other actors, say, hey, listen, I got this guy, Randy Jones. He's coming up, he got his own stuff he's doing. You want to build up your acting reel? Go to him. Okay? And then that person tells somebody else and tells somebody else. And also online, we got social media, and that's really pretty much taken over the world. Should I say, took over the world. So I will post a lot of my videos and shorts and stuff, and post what I do and tell people what I'm doing. And they will respond back to me, hey, I'm an actor, I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm interested in working with you. And, that's basically pretty much how I get a lot of people. Well, Randy, we definitely like to have you back on the show. Okay, and I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming out. Thank you for even, taking time out of your busy schedule and coming to do the Fred the Puppet Show. I truly appreciate it. I definitely want to get you back on the show. Maybe do a little bit of acting, okay? And everything, because I do acting also. I just don't host, okay? Well, everybody, want to say thank you for tuning in and watching Fred the Puppet Show, okay? Tune in next time, okay? Bye-bye.